For centuries, these angular symbols have been a huge source of fascination and mystery. I mean, they look like a secret code because, well, in a lot of ways, they are. Today, we're going to decode the runes.
You've probably seen these symbols before, right? Maybe in movies or video games, looking like some kind of secret language. Well, that's actually not too far from the truth. And today, we're going to figure out exactly what they're trying to say.
So our guide for this little adventure comes from a pretty interesting place. A page from a book called The Fundamental Book of Sigil Magic, Volume 2. It seems this ancient alphabet is still very much alive and kicking, and this page, well, it gives us the complete key to unlock it.
Now, this isn't just a history lesson. The version of the runes we're looking at today isn't necessarily some dusty artifact. It's more of a modern adaptation. It's an ancient alphabet that's been sort of reimagined for today's world, which honestly makes it even more intriguing.
So, let's just dive right in. The best way to tackle this is to treat it like a cipher. The key is right there in front of us, and we're going to crack this code together, one symbol at a time.
All right, let's get to the heart of it. We're going to go through the chart from our source page, bit by bit, seeing exactly how each rune matches up to a letter in our modern English alphabet. You'll see it's surprisingly straightforward, at least at first.
Kicking things off with the first set, from A to H, it's a really clear one-to-one match. This rune is A, this one's for B, and so on. It starts out like a simple substitution cipher, which is great. It gives us our first solid foothold.
And the next set of letters, from I to O, we see mostly direct translations again. But take a closer look at the second rune in this list. This is where the system starts to show its unique side. So what's so cool here is that the single rune can represent two different letters, both I and Y. This kind of efficiency is actually pretty common in condensed alphabets, where one symbol can do the job of two depending on the context.
Moving on to the next set, we've got P, R, S, T, and U, and they all have their own distinct runes. But then we get to that very last one on the list. It's another multitasker, and believe me, this one does some serious heavy lifting.
I mean, check this out. This single symbol is a real workhorse, covering V, W, and Z. This kind of suggests that in this system, these sounds were all considered similar enough that they could just be grouped together under one rune. It's a really efficient way to streamline an alphabet.
Okay, so we've handled the standard one-to-one letters, but what about sounds in English that need two letters, like TH or NG? Well, this runic system has a really clever solution for those as well.
Take this rune. It's dedicated entirely to the TH sound. So instead of needing two letters, you just use this one symbol, a super elegant solution for such a common sound in English.
The same idea applies to combinations of vowels. This rune here specifically represents the AI sound, like in the word eight. It captures that whole distinct sound with a single, unique character.
And this perfectly shows how the system handles consonant blends. This rune stands for the NG sound, the one you hear at the end of a word like sing. It treats this common sound as one single phonetic unit with its own unique symbol. Pretty smart.
So we've done it. We've decoded the alphabet. But this brings us right back to our source material. Why is this ancient script featured so heavily in a modern book about sigil magic? What does that tell us about how these symbols are actually used today?
The source itself gives us the biggest clue. The fact that this alphabet is in a book on sigil magic tells us these symbols are being used as way more than just letters. They're part of an active, modern practice where each rune is believed to hold its own meaning and power. So the most important point here is that for many, many people, runes are not a dead language at all. They are a living, breathing system of symbols used for divination, for meditation, for symbolic art. They've really transcended their origins as a simple alphabet.
And now, you have the key. You can read and write using this ancient script. So the final thought is for you. Now that you know the code, what message would you write? What ideas would you choose to inscribe in the runes? The power, quite literally, is in your hands.